it's a good motivator. I mean, this is an individual sport, but we train together. We go through the trenches and battle each and every day in the room, practice room, and so it's an extra oomph when you come out there and your teammates are doing the exact things that you worked on, that you trained. It's kind of like a snowball effect.
Excellent. You could tell the fight that Strickland's eye was quite bad. Do you think you're close to a finish?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I didn't feel too great in there. As always, you have bumps and bruises when you come into each and every fight, but I couldn't really find my timing in there. He's a tall, long guy, and I can see why he gives a lot of guys problems. I mean, this is a guy that's took out some of the top prospects, in the division, but I'm not a prospect. I'm a contender, and I just kind of had to go out there and really put on a good show.
Was there anything that surprised you about him in this fight? You obviously, the plan was to finish, but I guess his durability kind of held up.
Yeah, his durability was a big one. I didn't think he could handle, what I bring as a fighter, and he went out there and he basically showed his toughness. The tough guy. In the first round, usually I can kind of gauge how guys can handle the pressure and just how they can handle my abilities in there. To some, I might not look like much, but once you're trapped inside that cage with me and you really start to feel my strength, my pressure, my distance, and my power, some guys can't handle it. And he definitely showed why he's experienced and why he's a true veteran.
According to Fight Metric, you're the first welterweight since 2007 to win your first 5 fights in the welterweight division. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I don't really keep up with a lot of those stats. I just do my job as a fighter, go out there and try to rack up the wins and entertain the fans.
Obviously, though, that speaks to your success as of late. Do you feel like now it's time? I mean, you've done a really good job of calling out top dogs, but you haven't gotten that big fight just yet. Do you feel like now you will finally get it?
Yeah, as a fighter, and now, I came in as I don't do this because there's nothing else for me to do. I do this because I choose to do this. I love the competition. This is another way for me to compete and really show, what I put into it. I chose this, and so I'm putting everything into it. And so, when I came in, of course I want to be successful. I want to win my fights. But I've started to understand the entertainment aspect of it. These are fans that are paying money to come out there and watch us. And a lot of these fans don't know the intricacy of MMA, don't know the technical aspect to jiu-jitsu or wrestling. A lot of them, kind of want to see a fight. And so you have to entertain, and I'm just starting to understand more and more of that. And so I want to put on a show more and more for them. But I'm not going to forget, my skills that I work on each and every day.
So along those lines, yesterday at the ceremonial weigh-ins, you showed up with the face paint. Could you tell us what's the significance of that? What does it
Well,
represent?
a lot of people might have not noticed, but it was green, white, and green all over my face.
Yep.
Which is my country color. I take a lot of pride in my country because, as a young boy being raised in Nigeria, I had no hopes of ever doing this. I couldn't dream of this because I never saw it. And now I just want to go out and motivate my people and let them know that, to some places where you don't think there's hope, anything is possible. You never know what God has written, set in stone for you.
Where do you fall in everything that's happened in Florida as far as training is concerned? Which side did you kind of fall under, and how big of a distraction has all of this been for you personally?
I'm a guy who I focus on what I can control. That's some of the biggest lessons I've learned all through 29 years of life is focus on what I can control. I couldn't control any of that. At the end of the day, a gym doesn't control how good I can be in this sport. And so, I control that. And so if I'm in a situation where I don't feel like I'm getting what I need, as I mentioned earlier, I chose to do this. And so if I'm not getting what I need at a certain spot, then I'm going to go where I'm going to get what I need. So not much has changed for me. I still train with the exact same guys. I came in this sport and I trained with Sugar Rashad Evans, Anthony Johnson, Michael Johnson, Abel Trujillo, Carrington Banks, Sean Soriano. I still train with those guys.
Okay. And Magny's the guy that you want next.
I want Magny. I wanted Dong Young Kim because he's high up there. He's a grappler and he's an aggressive guy. He comes forward. I wanted him. I think that would be a good style clash. But I'm hearing noise that he's booked, and so if Magny's available, I want him next, and I want him in Dallas if possible.
Wow.
I'm from Arlington, Texas, and I want the chance to go home and really entertain my fans, family, everybody.
How do you feel like a matchup? Just kind of thinking of the matchup on paper, how do you feel like your skill set matches up against Neil Magny?
He's a tough guy. He's a little like Strickland. He's a long, technical guy. But my style, as I mentioned, my style trumps a lot of these guys. When I get in there, I might not look like much, but when I get in there and they feel my strength, they feel my power, and they feel my pressure, it's a whole different ballgame for these welterweights.
You mentioned your style and all that. I think you have something like 24 takedowns in your 5 UFC fights. Are you kind of awaiting the day that someone is able to stop that part of your game and you have to show other parts, or do you think anyone can even stop that part of your game?
I with the way I mix it up, I don't think anyone can stop it, but I'm choosing. If I wanted to take that guy down 10 times in there, I could have taken him down 10 times. It's not I'm not going in there just to try to get a takedown. As I mentioned, you have to entertain the fans as well. If I took a guy down and I didn't want him to get up, he wouldn't get up. You saw in that first round, I wasn't really even, holding a tight lock. I wasn't really trying to keep him down. I just wanted to make him work to get up, and he still couldn't break the lock. Once guys really feel my strength in there, it's a different ball game. So if I want the takedowns, I can get them, but I understand I need to stand up and entertain the fans sometimes, and so that's what I'm trying to do more.
You mentioned having things outside of fighting. You do the commentating duties for Titan FC. Does that change your approach at all to your fighting style, or just how you analyze fights going forward?
Yeah, when you're commentating and just kind of like coaches can see certain things that a fighter can't see inside the cage. And so, commentating is giving me a different perspective. It's one thing to be able to fight, but it's another thing to be able to talk about it and explain what's going on in there. And so, I love it. Titan gave me a great opportunity to start to build on a different aspect, and I love it. And I work with one of the best guys in the business, Showdown Joe. He's a great guy that helps kind of carry me and teach me, certain things about the game. And so, I'm loving it.
I don't think he likes you too much. He's not participating in your scrum match.
He's one of the ugly guys in there.
Is that sort of the perfect career for you after you're done fighting? Is to do the broadcasting thing? Like you say, you enjoy it, but is that something you could see yourself doing permanently after your fighting career?
Absolutely. Essentially, Tyron Woodley's living the life that I eventually want to live right now. He's getting movies, he's commentating, he's doing an analyst. That's essentially what I want to use this vehicle of MMA to get to. And so, he's kind of setting the precedent, and he's a guy that I like a lot. I consider him a really good guy, and eventually, that's where I aim to be.
I'm just curious, the majority of times when fighters come to speak to us, they're still wearing their Reebok kits. You are wearing a very nice outfit.
Thank you.
With an awesome hat that you're not wearing, but it's nice. I see it. Was that important? Did you change on purpose? Like, do you want to be seen in, nice clothes? And is there, this is a very unique shirt. Is there something about it that really drew you to it?
Yeah, I'm a Nigerian native, and this is especially made, custom made for me. It's a different aspect. When I come in, I came in today, I came to go to work. I put on my uniform, I stepped in the cage, and I did my job. And at the same time, after I'm done, I can clean up, put something on, and really, show a different side of me.
Can we see the hat?
Of course, man.
Let's get it.
You really wanted to see it.
I like that hat. See, that's a nice hat. You should have done the whole thing in the hat, if I'm being honest.
I know you're saying you were looking at Neil Magny, but I've seen a few people mention on Twitter about Gunnar Nelson. I don't know how that might interest you down the line.
Yeah, it's a interesting matchup as well, but Gunnar, I don't think at the same time is gonna put on the style that can really kind of excite fans. I think he's gonna try to wrestle me, and so I'm just gonna end up having to take him down, hold him down, and beat on him, which I want to kind of break out of the mold that fans are seeing and thinking, oh, he's just a grappler, he's gonna take a guy down and lay on him, so I want a guy that can really you know, stand and mix it up. You know, so that's why I wanted Neil Magny. He can wrestle well. He's got some jiu-jitsu and he's got some striking. You know, Gunnar Nelson he's a ground guy. You know, and so I would have to, you know, take him down and dominate him down on the ground. So, you know, yeah, I want anybody that's ranked ahead of me. You know, but you know, I also want a good matchup, and I think the UFC does a good job of that.